Hello everyone, this is Latoya of Infinitenature and I am back with a new video. Today I wanted to do a video in reference to the 5-day raw vegan challenge, and some people may not even know what raw vegan is. So vegan, let's start with vegan. Vegan is when you are eating no meat, no seafood, no flesh, no dairy, no animal product, pretty much. Okay? So that's what that is. And eating raw vegan is all of that, but you don't cook your food. You don't cook on the stove and all of that. You don't pop nothing in the microwave. But once I became more health conscious, I didn't even use microwave. But it's pretty much eating it in its natural state. However, there's levels to raw vegan. There's some people who they may have one raw meal a day. There's some people that are like 50-50. Some people who may eat a cooked meal when they are in the mood to eat a cooked meal. There may be some people that may eat certain things that are cooked. There may be people who they just eat fruit, literally just fruit. That's all. And then there's people that eat a little bit of everything. There's, high raw, which I'm in that category of high raw. And then there's people who, may eat half and half or one cooked meal a day or something like that. So it's variations to it. And you also have to consider the dehydrator. I've definitely have read a few books and done my research, and I find that it varies. People consider it food still raw as long as you do not. I've seen a range from no higher than 117 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I'm in the U.S., so that's what I'm saying, Fahrenheit. But yeah, that's the highest that you can go. But I've seen people also say no more than 110 or no more than 115 or whatnot. So it varies. I tend to not put my stuff no more than 110 degrees or Fahrenheit, or no more higher than 115 degrees Fahrenheit. That's normally the range that I'll go when I'm doing something in my dehydrator. Now, I will say this, that we also have to consider there's certain things, like there's nuts. Like the cashews are not completely raw. They are processed, and so what we get, even if it's it's not roasted, doesn't have any salt or anything on that is still, it still goes through a heating process. So that's not, our cashews are not 100% raw. However, it's it's just not 100. It's just not. There's no however. That's just what it is. That's why I say that I'm high raw, because there's circumstances to where you don't have access to certain things, especially when you're traveling. And let's say I didn't get anything from the store where I normally get all of my items from. And let's say I'm at a convenience store and they don't have let's say they just so happen to not have anything that is raw and completely raw, as far as the nuts. They just have it roasted with salt. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm going to eat that. If there is nothing else for me to eat, I'm going to eat that. So you have to also consider your circumstances and what you got going on. And that's why a lot of vegans and vegetarians, vegans, anybody who's eat plant-based, they will tell you that a lot of times you have to prepare yourself in advance. Sometimes either eat in advance or just, make sure you always got food on you. That is just a part of life for me now. For the last 8 years, I've always known that I have to bring my own food. I have to eat beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people do not like, people just naturally just prepare foods in the way that they are used to, and it's, you know, I just accept that how I eat is just is a little different, so it is what it is. But you also have to just keep that in mind. That you have things like seaweed. You have to be careful with seaweed, because with seaweed you can have different wraps, and there's some that's roasted and some that's not. And I've eaten both, you know. So you got it. So that's why I say that I'm high raw instead of just 100% raw. But I'm very, like, I'm up there. But I consider these things, these factors. Or let me see something else that is more, a lot of times it's with the seeds, with the seaweed, or things like that. Or let's say there is something that is packaged, but they may have one item that is cooked, you know, but everything else is raw, natural or raw. That happens too sometimes also. Like when it comes to certain items. But for the most part, I look at my ingredients and I look at the packaging and strive to be as raw as possible, because I find that I operate best when my food is as fresh and as fresh in its most natural state as possible. And that's why I don't eat out that much. That's why I prepare a lot of my meals. When I do prepare meals, most of it's from scratch. It's just, it is what it is. But that's pretty much it. As far as I've pretty much talked about my experience. But like I said, there's levels to everything, and you know, that's just the basics of raw vegan. Is you're eating no animal product, and your food is not cooked. That's pretty much. And then you have the gourmet raw, a lot of times with the dehydrator, or making like your little kale chips or your banana chips, or, you know, other fruit, you know, dried fruit, you put that in dehydrator, you know, different meals that you can make in the dehydrator. So there's certain items that are already processed, that may have gone through a process, maybe go through a heating process, like I mentioned with the cashews and stuff. But other than that, it's like pretty high raw. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm 100% raw, because there are certain items, you know, sometimes you just can't get around it, just because of just sometimes you can't get around it. And sometimes it's just like you have to eat, like, seriously. So that's all that I wanted to just touch on. I hope it didn't seem like it was just all over the place, but I just know that some people really may not be familiar with what raw vegan is. And it's definitely levels to it. And I don't want people to feel like so restrictive, like it's so, because it's always coined as that. It's always coined as restrictive, when it's really not. It's just more so about the mindset and what you are willing to try, and having I prefer variety, so that's why I don't prefer to eat just fruit. So it just depends on the person and their preference, and I'm not going to sit there and you know, analyze what other people are doing. I'm focused on myself. But that's all that I wanted to share for now. I hope that gives some people some clarity and some insight who may have not been familiar with what raw vegan is. And stay tuned for more videos. You can follow me on Instagram at Infinitenature1, Tumblr at Infinitenature, Twitter at Infinitenature1, and Facebook at Infinitenature. Have a great day. Bye. So guys, I realized that I clicked off the video too early, because I had thought about it, and I was like, hold on, I didn't tell them like some of the foods that I eat. So when it comes to eating raw vegan, is of course fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. You can also eat grains, and you can soak them. And the key with eating nuts and seeds is very important to soak those. And also with the grains, you can soak like the quinoa. And also even like I I've gone to like raw vegan restaurants that are one of the, I think the best raw vegan restaurants is in Atlanta, Loving It Live, where I've eaten. They had sprouted the rice, and it was very dense. Like, I struggled to finish it because it was just so dense. But I know that not. I believe I saw somewhere that you can't sprout all of those rices. You're not meant to eat all of those. Now, the things that I do tend to stay away from are, of course, I don't eat breads at all because of that. You can make your own bread though. That's why it's great to have a dehydrator, because you can make your own bread. What are other things? Of course, like potatoes. I don't really eat that anymore. Now you can have, I have prepared raw vegan sweet potato fries before, but it's just keep in mind that the consistency is not the same. It wasn't bad at all. And I've also believe we've done plantain too somehow. I think I forgot if I think it might have been like fries too, but which is no, it wasn't with plantain. It was something else. It was another root vegetable, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, but there's certain things that I just steer. I don't eat because it just messes up your. For me, it will mess up my digestive system. Like, it's just not. It's better to prepare it cooked. If you really are craving something, or whatever the case may be, and it's best to have it cooked, I encourage you to do that versus having a stomach that is painful. Okay, so yeah, but that's pretty much. I'm simplifying it way more. But if you follow me on Instagram, where you can see, like, if you go back, because I've been posting this stuff since 2015. But if you go back, and you'll see that a lot of the things that I've prepared, I do. And I've talked about this. I feel like this in other videos, but I like to prepare. Like, I don't eat pastas, but I do alternatives. Like, you can do, some people may do carrots, or they may do cucumbers, or they may do zucchini noodles or whatever, and make a sauce with that. And I prefer to make mine with kelp noodles, because to me it can get softer or whatever. I don't know, the crunch is, I think it's just more, it's softer with the kelp noodles, so that's what I prefer or whatnot. But I've made carrot tuna. I'm just thinking of all the meals. I love to make a Thai pasta, which is like a spin of the pad Thai. So I like that too. I'm trying to think of other things that I really like to prepare and eat. But those are my favorites. Anything with I love salads. Oh, that's one thing, is that when you become raw vegan, or you eat a lot of raw vegan dishes, you'll find that you'll get very creative with your salads. That's when you really start to learn how to make salads, okay? And start to make different salad dressings and different sauces. So it can be very fun when you take the time to, like, really explore different recipes and different creative recipes you may make on your own. You'll find that it's very exciting, and it tastes real good, and it will fill you up. So yeah. Also, couscous is another thing that you can soak raw or whatever, but it's something that I don't eat a lot of. I find that if I eat too much of that, then and I found that out recently after I had my daughter, because I started eating more of it. But I don't know if it was the mixture of the hormones of after having her, but I found that my elbows was breaking out more, and I found that when I stopped eating that, it cleared out. So I don't eat that on a lot. Unfortunately, I can't. I mean, I don't want that reaction to happen or whatever. So, but yeah, so that's just a general simple version of some of the things that you can eat. And the reason why I'm whisking through this, because I have so many videos and so many posts that I've shared already talking about stuff like this. So that's the reason why. But I just wanted to say something before I end this video officially, because some people may be watching this video for the first time and may have never heard of raw vegan before. So that's all that I wanted to share once again. So see you guys soon, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.